Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I am going to be giving you my preview and prediction of the 2018 NBA Finals, which pits the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Golden State Warriors. Now, obviously, I'm sure, Golden State overwhelming favorite in this one, rightfully so. It's not going to be much of a shocker who I'm going to pick in this series, but really, the thing about this is Cleveland might actually have a little bit more of a chance than a lot of people think, though, in this. And of course, that's the X factor, LeBron James, at your service. You got to remember that Cleveland, okay, they had just defeated two teams that were higher seeded than them in the postseason. They completely dominated the Toronto Raptors. They had won. They swept them in the regular season. They beat them 4-0 in the postseason. Then they beat a Boston Celtics team that was really playing very well, almost flawlessly on their home court in the postseason, and they held them to very low three-point percentage. A lot of that I know was attributed to the ineptitude of Boston's shooting, much like the Rockets, unfortunately, and choking in their Game 7 against the Warriors. But the thing about it is that when you have LeBron James, with him just being able to impose his will, and he has really the strongest ability, I think, to dictate the course and the tempo of the game than any other NBA player. Now, people can have their debate over whether Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. I understand that. As far as a pure shooter, I think Kevin Durant might actually have the edge. I think LeBron beats him in virtually every other aspect, though, of the game of basketball. That being said, I think when you look at Cleveland, their only main shot, I think, to defeat Golden State in this series, obviously, I think, is to wear Golden State out on the defensive end and have really run number of screens and what have you, and make Curry and Durant, make them have to work through it continually. Can they get Draymond Green in some kind of foul trouble? Is his emotions going to get the better of them? Can Cleveland employ any strategy maybe to make Draymond Green get a little bit more somewhat agitated to the point maybe they can get him in foul trouble? I think it's going to really, those are some ways Cleveland may have a chance, but I think when you just look at Golden State Warriors, they just have so much offensive weaponry. Their shooting, of course, is phenomenal and lights out, and when you got Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, you just have so many sharpshooters that can just that can beat you. This is just the problem is when I really look at this, it's obviously a personnel disparity between the two teams. Golden State obviously has so much more than the Cleveland Cavaliers. You always have a shot with LeBron James, but remember that Golden State has actually dominated Cleveland in recent time. They swept them during the regular season, this past regular season, and they had beaten them, I believe, 4 out of 5 in the NBA Finals the previous season. So that's 6 of the last 7 Golden State has won against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I just don't really see how this can go further than 6 games. I do believe Golden State is going to win this one in 5 games, and I don't know if Cleveland will have to obviously slow the tempo of the game down. LeBron James can sometimes do that single-handedly, and really that is about the only chance they have to win. You notice what happened when Cleveland beat Boston the last game. It was like, 90 something to 80 something or whatever. And then remember when Cleveland defeated Golden State in that in the 2016 NBA Finals in Game 7, that was a low-scoring game as well. You're obviously not going to get it done against Golden State. If you're going to try to win a game like 125 to 120, it probably won't happen against Golden State. Cleveland is going to have to get these games under 100 points. I do believe if these games are like where Golden State reaches 110 and more, then of course that's a big, tremendous advantage for Golden State. I really just think, I mean, the combination of they're going to have the home court advantage, Golden State. And really just coupled with the fact they've just had Cleveland's number of years, their offensive weaponry is much greater than what Cleveland has. I think what happens when you look at Cleveland, basically after LeBron James and Kevin Love, I don't even know if I think his status may be questionable for Game 1. The thing about is, who do they really have, and can they really get anyone to perform consistently on the road other than LeBron James and Kevin Love? I don't know if J.R. Smith is going to be the answer or not. We're going to have to see if they can get some kind of role players to surprise Golden State and maybe play better than I anticipated, supersede expectations or what have you. But to me, it really seems like it's going to be very hard for Cleveland to win this series. Remember, in the last NBA Finals, the 2017 NBA Finals, it didn't seem like there was an answer for Kevin Durant. I don't know if they could really, I mean, it just seemed like he was able to get essentially whatever shot he wanted to, and even if there was anything contested, it was just very hard to stop him, considering his height and his ability to shoot from his perimeter shooting. Now, LeBron James has had a number of cynics and critics over the years, question his outside shooting, and now he's gotten to a point where he's become a very solid perimeter shooter. And I think the one thing we'll never question, regardless of the outcome of the series, is LeBron James' passion, his hunger, and his heart, which I think is unsurpassed in the league. I think he's still unequivocally the best NBA player right now. I don't think he's as good as Jordan, because you look at him, I mean, even as Max Kellerman had said on ESPN's First Take, I mean, the analytics do show that Michael Jordan was a better player than LeBron James, and there's some people that might say that LeBron James isn't even the #2 greatest NBA player of all time. I mean, you have people, you could still look at other people like Karl Malone and Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson. There's other people to consider. I don't think it's necessarily that clear cut that the order of the greatest, as far as the greatest NBA players of all time, are definitely going to be Michael Jordan 1 and then LeBron James 2 anyway. And this is no knock against LeBron James. He's the best player that I'm seeing right now, a contemporary player that is out there. I mean, he's obviously a transcendent generational talent, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for them to win the series against Golden State. Yes, Cleveland did defeat their last two opponents, were higher seeds than them. They had, of course, had better won-loss records in the regular season than Cleveland, and I understand that. And I mean, what did Golden State do? They won 57 games this season. They won 7 more than Cleveland. If you just look at if you want to look at it like that, it looks like it's conceivable to think that Cleveland actually has a shot in that one. But that one-loss record for Golden State was a little bit deceptive because they didn't have Curry in a number of those games. Steph Curry, as you know, had been outnumbered those games. Even if he's 80% in this series, which I think he likely will be, so at least 75-80% healthy, that should be enough, coupled with the other main proponents being healthy. And I mean, if Curry was healthy, all season and played the whole season, or at least close to the whole season, I mean, Golden State surely would have won over 60 games, I believe. I mean, they won, I think, 57 when Curry had missed a substantial amount of games, and I think they could have easily gone over 60, probably over 60 wins if he had actually played. They beat the Rockets. I mean, if they were able to beat the Rockets, you should be able to beat Cleveland. I think I'm going to take Golden State in this one to prevail over the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games. So anyway, people, well, that'll conclude this YouTube segment for my 2018 NBA Finals preview and prediction. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.